Today, my friends, I'm going to be showing you the best and most brutal indie games to keep an eye out for in the first half of September. And if you're keen to seeing even more after this, well, I will be dropping the second half of September, more near the second half of September. But the first half of September, my friends, oh boy, it is looking mighty fine. And the guy hosting this video is of course no other than Slim Bratsky himself, the boomer shooter dad, the indie lover, the brutal games lover. So in other words, super welcome to this video. Let's do this. Starting this week off, we got a rather cute looking boomer shooter. It's a simple first-person shooter game with some bigger than life pixels, loaded with 7 different weapons, both physical and magical, 13 types of different enemies, 3 bosses, 29 secrets, and 18 levels. Yep, we got all the information here. Now, in all honesty, I'm not the biggest of fan when it comes to this super old school, almost Wolfenstein looking graphics, but hey, if the gameplay works, then it works, and we can find out on September the 2nd.
The artillery.
Alright, so next up is a special one. There is a lot of things to be said about this one. For an example, the pro first-person shooter player Shroud, he's partnered with Mountaintop as the lead gameplay advisor since early alpha on this game. And that instantly rings a heavy competitive bell for me. Secondly, this is just as all other new multiplayer games claim that they will be, a genre-evolving, competitive 3v3 tactical shooter driven by duality. So what the hell is duality? Well, we get to use duality to control 2 bodies in real time, letting you defend 2 sides at once, cover your own cross, or even trade yourself. And while that does sound quite unique and pretty fun on paper, I am quite doubtful it will work for the majority of players in real time. If you will be jumping into this one, be sure to update me and let me know how well the duality mechanic works. Okay, so next up is Doom 3 on the moon as a top-down shooter. No, it's really not that, but I am definitely getting some vibes from the game's atmosphere, and I quite like it. So one of the game's highlights instantly puts it away from being Doom 3, and that is that you will be able to fend off hundreds of enemies on screen at once. Mighty impressive if I may say so myself. Now the full short description of the game, it goes something like this. The Moon 2044 is a top-down shooter game set in a dark atmosphere of a secret facility located nowhere else but on the moon. Using several different weapons that you will find during the campaign, you must get to the very center of the facility and complete all the objectives set by the HQ of NCIS. And we also get to immerse ourselves in a series of missions in the campaign. And now this next sentence, I had to repeat this like 15 times. For some reason my brain is not working, I don't know how to pronounce it. So we will be exploring a huge military laboratory and face dozens of enemies at once. I cannot with this game. I freaking love it. Broskis, we got a cowboy-themed first-person shooter Tetris game. Now, I will not in a lifetime play this game, but goddamn, this is a brilliant idea. I mean, you shoot the Tetris blocks to form them however you like, all while fending off the goddamn bandits trying to ruin your Tetris run. Yep, that is the game, and it's freaking brilliant. Friends, if you're liking this video, I'm just here to remind you to hit that like and drop a comment. And if you haven't, God forbid, but if you haven't, hit that subscribe. Now the next game on the list actually has a pretty good sales pitch without me altering it so much, so I'm just gonna drop that for you. It goes something like this. Descend into a chilling adventure with this first-person indie horror shooter. In this game, you take control of a protagonist who must navigate a haunted building using an elevator to move between floors. Each floor presents unique and challenging puzzles that you must solve to proceed to the next level. But the building, my friends, is not empty. Undead enemies lurk in the shadows, ready to attack at any moment. And to survive, you must manage your resources, solve puzzles quickly, and keep an eye on the timer. If the timer reaches 0, your fate is sealed. Experience the tension and terror as you uncover the secrets hidden within each floor.
It's one last job, Harding. One last job, and you're out.
Pull your agents back, Perkin.
Harding? Harding!
Motherfuckers wanna make us.
Okay, now this next game was actually delayed, so it's making a reappearance in this video. What is it? Well, it is a fast-paced first-person shooter set to blow our minds on September the 10th, featuring small maps with differing objectives and tons of replayability to get the fastest time possible. Now, I am very excited for it thanks to its buttery smooth gameplay, but at the same time, I am a little scared of it becoming too repetitive, like the studio's prior game El Paso Elsewhere. But I cannot do much more than hold my fingers crossed that it is going to be a kick-ass game from start to end. Oh yeah, now we're talking beautiful freaking environments. Ooh la la, look at this tech-noir urban cyberpunk setting. I freaking love it. Now this game is super interesting. It's one of few games that dares to go back to the fixed camera setting a la old school Silent Hill and Resident Evil. But it does so by modernizing it. And how the heck do you modernize such a thing? Well, my broskis, you blend fixed camera and dynamic cameras. So you will be playing with both, which sounds pretty damn awesome, honestly. And other than that, it will feature your survival horror type of puzzles, monsters, dark corridors, and this being an indie game, sometimes it just doesn't hit right. But judging from the demo that once was and the footage that we're seeing on screen now, this game hits it just right.
Hold it there, freaks! I ain't letting you get away this time! Don't act like you ain't heard of me.
Got my attention.
The spiritual successor to the award-winning game Void Bastards. Wild Bastards is a roguelike strategy shooter with heart-pounding first-person shooter action, mod management, and a tactical campaign. We get to saddle up and lead the most notorious outlaws in the galaxy. And this game freaking slaps hard, broskis. I was fortunate enough to get early access to the full game, and if you want to see that stream, I'll link it in the comments. But wowee, the game is good. It has so many unique and fresh ideas going for it that it's actually wild. So you lead this crew of outlaws traveling from one system to the other, but each planet you land on acts as a board. You take turns playing, finding items, fighting off bandits and bosses, and of course, upgrade your crew. It sounds simple enough, but it is not. There is a ton of depth to the game, and it wants you to get interested in it, to get immersed, to get sucked in. Oh, and the writing of the game is some of the best I've ever seen and heard. It's phenomenally good. So, yeah, go and add this game to your wishlist right now. I dare you, partner. So next up we got the sequel to the beloved Hands of Necromancy. It is upon us, friends. We best prepare to get lost once again. Prepare to have no freaking clue how to solve the puzzle to open the door that is right in front of us. Jokes aside though, the first game is great, and this is looking to be even greater with now not just one playable character, but two. New monsters, new magic, and new environments to get lost in. Sorry, I couldn't hold that in. Seriously though, the game is hard to navigate. It does lead to certain satisfaction once completed, but to cater to a wider audience, objective markers needs to be there, or at least more visual guidance is something that I'm really hoping that this sequel brings to the table. And I do intend to find out if it does or doesn't. A beloved GZ Doom game gets a sequel? Well, you can count on Slim streaming it, so keep an eye open for that. Oh my god, yes, this game looks so freaking good. Oh, I was so close to putting it in the August video, but right before I started that script, it got delayed to September the 3rd. Now this game right here is as condemned in this style as it possibly can get. Now the game focuses heavily on the horror aspects, so it's not going to be an easy breeze through this game. Oh no, you will have tense and horrifying moments at every corner, and to make it even worse, weapons and resources in general are scarce, so manage the inventory and look around for loot is very much needed. So this game would naturally put itself in a great October game for me to stream, and yeah, it would be actually fantastic for it, but I honestly don't think I can wait that long. The game simply looks too damn good, so keep an eye out for a Pneumata stream as well. Holy crap, I cannot say that name. Pneumata? Pneumata. End Me is an indie game in which one IT guy is about to lose himself. He worked hard, but his director cancelled all that was done. Meaning, you have to be careful, because you will be needing to shoot things, jump, and go through the consciousness thorns of our character all the way to the end. Okay, so this game, it sounds weird, and it looks even weirder. And if you know me really well by now, you know that I like my weird Stanley Parable type of games. And this is just that, but of course with its very own touch. And some shooting is involved. And that's how easy it is to get me interested, so consider my interest high for this one.
Death comes from the void. We defy its cold embrace. We remain unbroken. Because we are the Space Marines. Numberless enemies surround us, leaving nothing but dead worlds and desolation. Unyielding against the darkness, we are the Emperor's angels. His blade, his shield, forged for a single purpose: to answer the call of war.
Space Marine 2 is coming, broskis! It looks jaw-droppingly good, it looks brutal, it looks fire, it looks ultra mega super hype. And if you're not aware of what the first game is, let me give you a quick rundown. So essentially what it is a Warhammer-style Gears of War game that just takes the brutality up a notch. It was released during the peak of Gears of War, and it was trying to feed off of that hype. Did it succeed though? Well, yes, it did. The game is freaking great, but I was never expecting to get a sequel on it. But here we are, and the sequel is looking mighty freaking fine, offering both single-player, co-op, and PvP action in some of the most gorgeous and brutal graphics I've ever laid my old eyes upon. Thank you a million times for watching all the way to the end, broski. I freaking love you for it. Remember, retention is everything on YouTube, so thank you. And I hope you actually enjoyed what you watched. I hope that as well. Now, I will see you in the next one. Slim, over and out.